After filing an FIR against Dayanidhi Maran, the CBI searches his residences in Chennai and Delhi in connection with the Aircel Maxis deal. Finally, some good news for DMK MP Kanimuri, as the CBI now will not oppose her latest bail plea on gender grounds.
After framing of charges, the petitioner can go for file bail petition.
P. Chidambaram gets a breather as the Supreme Court reserves its order on Subramanya Swamy's plea to order a CBI probe against him. TN government tells the Supreme Court that the atmosphere is not vitiated in the state for the hearing of the Rajiv Convicts case. Anti-nuclear plant brigade slams the centre for not understanding their safety concerns. Protest enter day 2. Security measures enhanced at the Madras High Court. Comprehensive security system comes into effect. The Badshah of Bollywood says superstar Rajni is incomparable as the two meet in Chennai after Ra.1's trailer release.
Oh no, you can't compare yourself to the great Rajnikant sir. I'm going to take his blessings, going to be a part of the film.
Singing sensations in Chennai chant their memories of the ghazal legend Jagdish Singh, who passed away this morning.
I think it's extremely sad and unfortunate that we have lost another great musician in our land.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Ndtv-Hindu's headlines now with me, Anu George Kanjanathopal. Let's just quickly take a look at the national headlines. One judge upholds the Gujarat Lok Ayukt's appointment, but the other differs on some points. Parliament's Public Accounts Chairman M.M. Joshi summons Auditor General Vinod Rai and others to explain the report on 2G losses. Government unveils draft telecom policy that aims for free roaming and broadband on demand. In our top story this evening, it is another blow to the Maran brothers as the CBI raids various Maran properties in Chennai and Delhi. An FIR has been filed against Dayanidhi and Kalanidhi Maran in the Aircel Maxis case. The FIR also names Malaysia-based billionaire T. Anandakrishnan of Maxis and Astro Ralph Marshall. The raids began at around 8 a.m. when 9 CBI officials entered Dayanidhi's house. Raids are simultaneously taking place at Sun TV offices and the office of Aircel Maxis and in Hyderabad and in Delhi. In a statement from Apollo Hospitals regarding the reports on alleged raids at the Apollo Hospitals with regard to the 2G scam, the following is that very clarification. It says, and I quote, "The Maxis Group came to know about Apollo and its standing in the healthcare industry when they wanted to invest in a telecom company based in Chennai. They approached Mrs. Sunita Reddy through their senior management executive, Mr. Ralph Marshall, to consider investing in the telecom company, which they had already finalized for acquisition. The approach was made to Ms. Sunita Reddy in her private capacity and not to either her in her capacity as member of the senior management team at Apollo Hospitals or for that matter to Apollo Hospitals in its corporate avatar. Mr. P. Dwaraknath Reddy, the husband of Ms. Sunita Reddy, is part of a long-standing, reputable family business group with varied interests including in the power sector, and thus Maxis found in them not just honorable but astute business partners too." The statement also answered a very particular question. What is the relationship between Apollo Hospitals and Maxis Aircel? Here it is, and I quote, "There is this misconstrued belief that Apollo Hospital is an investor or a participant in the Aircel venture, but this is to unequally to state that Apollo Hospitals and or its chairman have nothing to do with Aircel and that the investments made in Aircel were made by Deccan Digital, in which the only investors are Mr. P. Dwaraknath Reddy, Sunita Reddy and the Maxis Group. It is this company that then floated Aircel, which to this day is an unlisted company, but one which has a subscriber base of 50 million subscribers all over India, with a robust brand presence and has pioneered tremendous work in the CSR space with its single-minded effort at saving the Indian tiger." We are staying with news related to the 2G case now. In a massive relief to DMK MP Kanimuri, CBI had decided not to oppose her bail on gender grounds. DMK Chief Karunanidhi's daughter and MP Kanimuri's bail was rejected earlier. CBI has also decided not to oppose bail to entertainment czar Kareem Morani and RCOM executive Surendra Pippara on health grounds.
The CBI has filed a petition on 26th September as a counter to the bail petition of Mrs. Kanimuri MP, and stated that the court can decide on the petition under whether to give relief under section 437 or not. Because it is based on the Supreme Court's order earlier while dismissing a bail petition of Kanimuri, that the Supreme Court had stated that after framing of charges, the petitioner can go for file a bail petition. So on that basis, I think this has come. And let us see how the court deals with the petition.
NDTV special correspondent Sunitra Chowdhury has more details on this big development.
This comes as a major reprieve for a day, on a day that the DMK's top leader, Ndtv-Hindu, has been raided, has been named in FIR. CBI, actually there were indications that CBI would be doing that because even in the last hearing, they hadn't vehemently opposed it. And now our sources telling us, confirming it to us, that for 3 people, that's Kareem Murani of Sinayog, also of Surendra Pipara, one of the Reliance executives, and Kanimuri, they will not oppose bail. Now, most likely, the bail, the court is going to say, let's wait for the framing of charges. But the major obstruction that was on the way was that CBI till now had been saying that if Kanimuri is given bail, she'll influence witnesses, and that is why she shouldn't be given bail. And they were really vehemently opposing it, and they dismissed the entire plea that, she's a woman, she's a mother, and so she needs bail. But it seems at this moment, they are saying it's on these grounds of gender and on health, they will allow them to get bail. So major reprieve. Of course, the final word will be with the courts when the courts decide to give her bail. But for now, it seems that the major obstruction towards bail has come from the CBI, signaling that they won't be opposing. The Supreme Court has, of course, said that bail can be given once charges are framed.
The Supreme Court today reserved its judgment on a plea by Janata Party President Subramania Swamy for a probe into Home Minister P. Chidambaram's role as the then Finance Minister in deciding the 2G spectrum pricing. Subramania Swamy, a petitioner in the 2G spectrum allocation case, had recently submitted to the Supreme Court a Finance Ministry note which said the Telecom Ministry could have gone in for an auction of 2G spectrum licenses had Chidambaram, the then Finance Minister, insisted on it. NDTV's chief legal correspondent Vaidyanathan joined us with the latest insight onto the court's reserving its order on a probe.
First thing, today of course Supreme Court reserves its orders on 2 points. One, Subramaniam Swamy's plea that there should be a CBI probe against Mr. P. Chidambaram for his alleged role in the 2G scam. And the second point, court also reserved its orders on Prashant Bhushan's plea that there should be an SIT or a 2 persons should be appointed to monitor the CBI probe. 2 persons in the sense, one retired Supreme Court judge and another retired senior police official. So on these 2 points, Supreme Court has reserved its orders, but the court sat up to 4:25, just 25 minutes beyond the court's normal time to hear and complete this case. First, CBI argued the case today, reiterating its earlier stand, saying that there is nothing against me, Mr. P. Chidambaram. Even right from the beginning, Finance Ministry officials have been consistently saying that there should be an auction and it should not be on 2001 rates. And CBI also argued, saying that Supreme Court doesn't have any powers to decide on Swamy's petition once charge sheet has been filed, saying that only the trial court can handle Swamy's issue. So after 45 minutes of CBI's argument, then Mr. P.P. Rao, representing the centre, argued, but he made very interesting plea, saying that since the whole status reports are being submitted to the court in seal cover, without knowing anything, the petitioners as well as the media misrepresents it, and which hampers the investigation. That's why he pleaded there should be in-chamber hearing. In-chamber in the sense only the advocates and officials are allowed, not the visitors, and the media are not allowed in-chambers hearing. So he wanted that, but the court said for the last 14 sittings, nobody requested in-chamber hearing. If you want an in-chamber hearing, you better make an application. Then Mr. Prashant Bhushan argued, saying that how the CBI did not investigate properly the Anil Ambani issue, the SWAN and the loop issue. But court said, let's not go into all these details. Let's only look into two issues, whether there should be a probe against Mr. P. Chidambaram or whether there should be an SIT. After that, Mr. Subramanian Swamy also argued, saying that as per the relevant documents which is filed along with the charge sheet and also the interesting controversial document which Swamy made to the court on the note by the finance ministry, that's March 25th, 2011 note, which basically said Mr. Chidambaram could have stopped this 2G scam. So he said, based on these notes, CBI should be directed to probe Mr. Chidambaram's role, and he said since the trial court doesn't have any jurisdiction on CBI, it has jurisdiction only on Delhi police, only Supreme Court can direct the CBI to probe into it. So after hearing all these arguments, Supreme Court has reserved its orders. We don't know when the orders will be passed. Normally the practice of the Supreme Court is once it's reserved orders, we will come to know only when the list is out, when the order will be pronounced.
Moving on to the news of the Rajiv Gandhi assassination case, the Tamil Nadu government today opposed in the Supreme Court a plea to shift out of the appeals of 3 Rajiv Gandhi assassins from the Madras High Court, challenging their death penalty on account of an 11-year delay in deciding their mercy petition by the President. Tamil Nadu's Additional Advocate General Guru Krishna Kumar opposed the plea for transfer of the 3 convicts' appeals out of the State High Court, denying allegations made before the Apex Court that the atmosphere in the state was vitiated and surcharged to hold a free and fair hearing in the case. The centre's announcement of setting up an expert group to allay fears over Kudankulam nuclear plant has not been received favorably by anti-nuclear activists who have resumed their protest against the project. In fact, the protesters have slammed the centre on the grounds of disregarding the concerns of the people of Kudankulam. Activists with the People's Movement Against Nuclear Energy said they plan to intensify their stir as the centre is not ready to scrap the Indo-Russian project. And at the moment, the centre has been given a deadline of 11th of October to make a decision on the suspension of the nuclear plant work. Security measures have now been enhanced at the Madras High Court as comprehensive security systems come into effect. To regulate the entry of outsiders and their vehicles into the court premises, a comprehensive security system devised by the Chennai Police and the Madras High Court will come into force today. 2 years ago, on the 28th of January 2009, the same system, which was then under the name Access Control System, was introduced, but was abandoned following the violence on February the 19th. But according to this new branch system, all lawyers will be expected to display photo identification cards authenticated by the Registrar General. However, those who do not possess these cards can still enter on producing the ID cards issued by the Bar Council. Meanwhile, litigants with a valid authorization issued by the advocates concerned regarding the purpose of their visit would be allowed inside the premises. CAG Vinod Rai to appear before the Parliamentary Accounts Committee. Stay more tuned on that.